Hi guys, and welcome back to today's video. My name is Miss Leanne or Hope Stungle, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So, sorry about this table issue, but I was going to talk about a project that I'm doing and that I need a lot of help on. I will also be posting it on my Twitter account. So, yes, I also have a Twitter account now, so go follow that. Everything will be linked down below in the description box. And before we get into that, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on all those post notifications when I upload a brand new video Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And hopefully it's gonna go well because this is my first time doing something like this. So we also need to check out the creator slash charity slash organization in the month, which are always down in the description box below, but I thought I would just come on here and say something since I am getting better with my introductions. The creator of the month is Adam McIntyre, and if you guys don't know who Adam McIntyre is, you guys should just go check him out. He is one of the main victims of the Colleen Ballinger allegations, scandals, and I don't know what to say. It's just really upsetting to hear some of the stuff that he's went through as a kid. But I'm not going to get into that today because that's going to be saved for another video. And I would also like to thank the creator. No, I would also like to thank the organization of the month, which is P.A.D.S, which is a homeless shelter organization. I don't know if it's federal, but I know it is for my state as well. So, anyways. So, I'm specifically going to be talking about a research project that I am doing, and I'm going to give a couple life updates on it because I just feel like it's really important. And if you like my hair, I got it done today. I thought I would, just come on here while I look all pretty. Sorry, just looking at my script. Okay, so yeah. So where do I want to start? So I'm doing this research for my personal experience and my personal curiosity, and the reason I'm doing it is because there's not enough resources, and I will be talking about what kind of research I'm doing and what things I will be talking about and what I've already done and what I'm going to do to make it better, what roadblocks I might face, what other roadblocks I will face in my personal life doing this research, because I'm very dedicated to solving this problem. And my research project, I don't know what I'm going to title this research project yet. I'm going to probably blog about it, but it is essentially going to be researching. It's going to be somewhere along the lines of where I do research on having more access to resources for the younger disabled people. And I really wanted to do this because I'm 22 years old and I have experienced that a lot, which I will get into in a minute. I have experienced a lot of things that I don't feel like get addressed because in the resources I'm talking about, like for the elderly, there's the veterans program, there's elderly housing. Like the elderly people have more advantage than the ones who have a disability at a younger age like me. Now, I was born with this disability, so it's not just something that came up so recently, but I was born with a disability. And I had to tell you, from the town that I lived in as a child, which I'm not gonna say, a really small town, it's really hard to find resources in the state that I live in. So, yeah. And you guys can probably guess what state I live in. Yeah. So I wanted to do my own research because I genuinely want to make a change and an impact for the future generations of those who have physical disabilities. And the questions I will be discussing will be, how can we have more resources? What things are they lacking? What kind of disabilities are we talking about? My take on it, and I have a little script, so that's why I'm reading over here. The reason I have a little script is because, I don't have a script. I have an outline of points that I want to hit because I feel like that's really important in content creation. So anyways, I'm going to be doing my take on it, and just about like why there needs to be more research. So I'm going to tell you about my disability and do kind of like a story time. I'm going to tell you my disability and all that stuff, my experience with having a physical disability, so like discrimination, bullying, school, online bullying, being a low income individual with a disability, the roadblocks with ADA compliancy violations. Like, there's a lot to it. So yeah, and I'm also going to do my highs and my lows of having a physical disability. And then I'm going to do my goals. Now, these are going to be goals for my personal research, and then it's going to be goals for like what changes do I want to make. And I'll be giving out the steps how I'm going to make it work, the roadblocks, and what I would like to call the happy path, because I don't know what else to call it. I mean, maybe rainbow roads. And rainbow roads mean like something positive coming out of this. And my advice to other people who have a physical disability. And this video probably is going to be as popular, but I thought, hey, why not do this? So, yeah. So if you want to know a little bit more about me, this is going to be out of order. Okay. So I was born May 1st, 2001, and I didn't know if I had a disability like right at birth, because I was in a, I don't know how to say it, I was in a tough family situation as a child. I was essentially put up for adoption at birth, and it's just hard to talk about, and I'm trying to think about how to word this because I didn't like exactly plan it out, but I was in a tough situation as a baby. I was in a hospital waiting to be adopted out. I was actually not supposed to be in the state that I was in, but I was the state that I'm currently residing in now, but I was supposed to be in like Iowa, Michigan, or Wisconsin for my life. I wasn't supposed to be in the state that I'm living in. So anyways, basically I was there for like 3 weeks, I think. My adopted family took me home, and it took like a little bit over 2-3 months maybe to get me officially legally adopted as what do I want to call it? A family member of the adopted family. And this adopted family has a lot of other siblings with special needs, is all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into it too deep because I don't want to exploit any names or put any names out there, just for safety precautions, because these people, my siblings, can't fend for themselves. So anyways, I had that disability, and I can remember some stories of my mom telling me when I was a baby I had something wrong with my bones, and they didn't know what was wrong with my bones. And they took me to all these doctors or whatever. I remember my mom telling me the first year before I turned 1, so this was like when I was a baby and I turned 1, I had to get all these surgeries, I had to get all these monitors up my face or whatever. You know, I was just kind of like I felt like a robot. And yeah. So basically, I had to get all these surgeries to better my life. So I will be talking a little bit about my surgeries. So I had to get a couple of surgeries on my thumbs. I had to get a surgery on my thumb right here. That's why it locked, because I broke my thumb. I had to get one on my pinky, I think. It's either this pinky or that pinky and another finger. I had to get surgery on my feet so that they don't turn, and I use leg braces to help prevent my feet from turning in anymore. I had to get back surgery. Those are my main surgeries, and that's because I had a rare condition called Arthryhryposis. And I just want to note, I didn't have the back surgery till I was a teenager, practically, a preteen. So if you were thinking about the back surgery, I didn't have one till I was about 12. So anyways, and 12 might be such like a young age. Like, why? Because I essentially kind of stopped growing in height. Now I'm just growing in chonk size. Okay. Anyways, I had to get all those surgeries because I have a very rare condition called Arthryhryposis. I will put like a synopsis in the description box to kind of help explain it, but since I obviously have it and have been diagnosed with it, I know a lot about it. So, arthrogryposis is essentially a very rare condition which is a diffusion in the bones. That's what I was always told, and that's how I understood it, so I'm going to say diffusion in the bones. And when I mean diffusion in the bones, like, I obviously have bones in my face or I wouldn't be talking. I have bones in my arms and my legs and all my extremities, but like some of the extremities, so like some of my, so my like my leg, so like my legs, I have bones in my legs obviously, but I can't walk. Hence me being in a wheelchair, I could never walk as a baby. So like I have bones in my legs, but I don't have like all the muscle joints in it, and my bones are very fragile of breaking, and that's the same thing with my back. Like I had muscles in my back, but I was like so like bent, and now I can stand up straighter. Well, I can sit down straighter. I mean, gosh, I wish I could stand. But anyways, that's basically what it is. So like I have joints in my hand, but like sign language is kind of hard. I know how to do some. So like that's why it looks weird, cuz like I don't have all the muscles and my bones in my body. So that's basically what it is. And it's usually is diagnosed at a very young age, and there is no cure for it, but there are ways to treat it and help prevent it from coming worse. That would mean having leg braces for your legs. And I also wanted to put out there that it's different for everybody. The most common, I feel like, is the wrists. Like the wrists are like, so like my wrists are actually straight. I don't know if you can see it. Wow, I can't do this. So my wrists are actually straight. Usually I see people with their wrist bent like all the way back kind of, but mine's not like that. It's actually in the feet, which is really weird, but there are ways to do it. There are ways to just help prevent it from coming worse, and there are a lot of prevention things like exercise, eating healthy, etc. I could get into it, but I don't want to get into all that because I'm talking about my research. So I've had it for 22 years indeed. So anyways, I'm doing this research project because I am very passionate about this field, and I have a physical disability, as I've been saying for the last 10 minutes. And I wanted to do my research on it because as somebody as a 22-year-old who has like a good head on their shoulders, like no matter what, I think it's no matter what, like there are not enough resources for younger people with disabilities, but like and I have to remind you, disabilities are different for everybody. Like you can be physically disabled and you can be like really smart, and you can also have physical and intellectual challenges as long as being blind and or deaf, which would be horrible. I could never imagine that, but yeah. That's basically, disabilities are different. If you're wondering why I'm scrunching my nose, it's because I keep getting this itch from my hair. I hate wearing my hair down. Honestly, I do, but I wanted to kind of just come on here and speak. And I'm filming this at 9:45. So my hair is just not staying on my face. Anyways, so I wanted to do this research to figure out ways that I can help make a change. Like, how can we have more resources? So here's my take on it. So we can have more resources by spreading awareness. I think spreading awareness helps so much, and even like, because arthrogryposis is like a rare condition, but I'm not specifically talking about arthrogryposis. I'm kind of going in a broad area, as I'm just aiming my research towards the younger disabled individuals. I feel like we can have more resources by brainstorming different ideas and having it actually planned out, and then talking to like individuals who could possibly help that. out. And I know it might be hard, but whatever state you live in, talk to your state governor or whatever and just tell them like what's going on, because I really wanted to do this because I am planning on going to law school in Chicago, and um I want to do disability advocacy for the rest of my life because I can totally relate to those people. So I thought, why not, you know? So, yeah, we can have more resources by spreading awareness, talking, talking about it, like on big social media platforms. Like Twitter is a big one. Twitter, I just got Twitter today because I wanted to use it for some other things. But like Twitter, even Instagram or even TikTok. I know I wouldn't recommend TikTok on my life, but and that'll be another video. I wouldn't recommend TikTok on my life, but what I am gonna say is TikTok is good for reaching to a wider audience. So that's why I would recommend it. And maybe Instagram. I wouldn't so much do Facebook because, well, my reasoning for Facebook is because I don't feel like the algorithms reach as much as with technology being modernized now. We have Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. I feel like those would be the platforms that I would use. But I don't know how to use Snapchat. And yes, I'm 22. I use Snapchat, but I don't feel like the algorithm is reached enough. So yeah, I'd recommend using TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter because you can always find some way to get your algorithm. Just do your key research words, and that's what I've learned. And I also wanted to let you know that my channel over like the past month in the summer, like this has been really good. I have gotten 500 views on my channel overall, and that's crazy to me because I've just been covering content that's like I've been covering content that's like relevant, but also in a respectful manner. Like that Zav girl, I covered it in a respectful manner. I didn't sugarcoat it. I didn't make it all wishy-washy, but I covered it in a respectful manner. I read the community post, which is down in the description box. Well, not the community post, because I was looking at the community post for that and it was like deleted. So yeah. Anyways, I feel like YouTube would be a really good way to talk about these resources with younger disabled individuals not having enough resources. So, what are they lacking? Well, I'm going to be doing a survey. I don't know, maybe on my Twitter, maybe somewhere I'll be doing a survey. But I'm going to be doing a lot of surveys, and everyone in the world can do it. Yeah, everyone in the world can do it as long as I can translate it. Yeah. So anyways, these are the questions I may be asking. I want to ask, like, what resources do you think younger disabled individuals in your area and around the world are lacking? So I feel like in my area, I feel like they are lacking like I want to say like more opportunities for younger disabled. I mean, there's a college in my town. It's ADA accessible. It is, but there are some parts of it where it isn't, and I have to take shortcuts, which that I'll be talking about in a little bit too. I feel like they're lacking like more resources in the elderly. Like I said, elderly. If you look at just the resources that the elderly have versus the younger disabled individual, you will see a difference. And I feel like in my town specifically, they're lacking housing for the disabled, younger disabled. Like I live in a senior, like I live at a senior residence center, and I'm the youngest one here. I feel like they're lacking like more disabled housing in the town that I live in for younger people. And I feel like that's a problem because you have disabled people coming from all over the world with a physical disability, even internationally. that want to go to school and that want to do good things in life and that even want to get a job and live here for the rest of their life to better their lives. And I don't feel like there are enough resources for the younger disabled individually. And I also wanted to put out there that for a disabled individual, I feel like with my personal experience, it's harder to find work because it depends. Well, it depends on the disability, but like for me, I can't stock shelves. I can't work in a factory. I can't. I'm trying to think of another job. I can't do construction because I'm obviously have physical limitations. So there needs to be like more job opportunities here. There are more job opportunities, but I feel like there needs to be more job opportunities for disabled individuals out of school because like the regular average individual that stands up and walks, they can get a job right out of high school, no problem. But for me, it's always harder because one, I lived in a small town, a different town from where I currently live now, and two, there's not enough opportunities right there, and there needs to be more opportunities made there. And I feel like I will be discussing more about this later. And I also wanted to put down like what disabilities are we talking about. So the main, so I kind of wanted to do it broad because younger people who are disabled have younger people who are I don't know how to say this. Younger people who are intellectually higher level want to do these things just like the standing individual and I just don't feel like there's enough opportunities there, and I wanted to kind of emphasize on those types of people, like people in my demographic, like status and stuff like that. And my take on it, so I told you about my disability, my experience. What is my experience with being physically disabled? Okay, so this might be a little bit longer, but I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as possible. That's if I can even make anything short and sweet, because good Lord knows I love to talk. Anyways, I would like to say my experience as a kid, like at home, it was completely fine. Because there were ramps, there were wheelchair accessible everything. I was able to get in and out of the house, no problem, whatever. But then, sorry, but then like as we get into school, it was a little bit harder being a disabled individual. For anybody in general, it's hard being a disabled individual. And for me, it was really hard to be a disabled individual, and it still is because because essentially I got jealous that people can walk and do all these things and buy all these clothes and get all these fancy stuff and get all these good jobs or whatever. And I kind of looked at myself in the mirror one day and said, I'm never going to do anything in my life. Well, take that mindset out of there, because if you have a negative mindset about your life, you're never going to get anywhere. So that's when I decided to change my mindset. But we'll get into that too. In kindergarten, it was easier, as kids aren't as cruel in kindergarten, but kids can be cruel, especially nowadays. And then as I got into grade school, it wasn't as cruel, but when I got into junior high and high school, specifically, it was really cruel because I'd be made fun of on my size, my weight, my disability, my lack thereof, and I was just bullied left and right. And it was really hard to deal with on a daily basis. There would be times where I would cry myself to sleep at night, and then there were times that I just didn't want to go to school, but other issues aside, I wanted to go to school. I'm not going to get into the other situations that I'm emphasizing on, but yeah, it was not fun being a disabled individual in school. And so when I graduated, I went to community college eventually. And I also wanted to note that I was not able to find a job for a young disabled individual at like 16. I wasn't able to get a car because one, those cars are expensive, and two, there just wasn't like any driving facilities for the you know, people disabled like me and my age. Like there's not a facility. There's facilities in places like Chicago and DuPage County, Illinois, and yeah, I don't think it's fair. I feel like it should have like at least something closer by to where I lived as a kid. Yeah, I think that's one of the other things they're lacking. But when I got to community college, I when I was going to community college that summer, I had to me and my mom looked up a lot of resources for me. Like if I wanted to get an education, because I got 3 scholarships to go in, if I wanted to get an education, I had to figure out how was I going to get there. And I've heard of public transportation, but I've never heard of like on demand public transportation. And I looked into it and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be the way I can go because I didn't live close by to school, and I still don't live close by to school, but there are all these, well, this town you had to pay, but here you can take a free city bus, and that's how you get to school. And they are wheelchair accessible. All of like the on-demand transits are wheelchair accessible by legal law. So yeah. So I basically wanted to put that out there. And then I moved into my first apartment in December of 2019, and I was scared because, as everybody is, they're usually really scared to move into their first apartment. I didn't know what to do. Well, I mean, I knew how to budget money, I knew how to pay my rent, those basic stuff. Well, I didn't even know how to budget money. That's a lie. All I knew was how to pay my bills and just live. I didn't find any solace or peace within the first 2 months that I was there because I was so scared of living alone because I was in a big family, and being down to one person, it's just, it was a culture shock to me. And I had to do other things myself that I never had to do before. Like I had to go to the post office, I had to drive. Well, I had to take transportation to a lot of places. I had to do my own doctor appointments. I mean, it was really weird. And where I'm getting at is the low income housing I had at my first apartment was really good, but I didn't feel like there were enough because one, it's a small town, and two, funding. And being a low income individual with a disability is even harder because most because people who are on disability, like have disability, most of them will get social security. Most of them. Because there are some good disabled individuals at work. But for me, I had to go on social security because I didn't have a job. I couldn't find a job. I didn't have enough work experience. I'm getting work experience now for my law career that I want to do in the future. Um, I think I think having the lack of work experience because I didn't have a job. Yeah, I think going to WIU opened a lot of doors for me. I was able to get all these internships. I think I've had 2 internships. No, wait. I had I had 2 internships so far, and I'm planning on getting another one. And it's going to be a bit more exciting because I plan on working at a law office. I still have to send my resume and cover letter and all this stuff. And I just wanted to send my cover letter and stuff like that. It's not required, but I wanted to send my cover letter and like personal statement because I want to show people at this law office that I'm working at that I want to do this and that I am very passionate about it. I am a very smart individual as I have a really high GPA, and people always underestimate my grades and everything else. So I would say let's talk about the lows of my disability. Having the lows of my disability, having a disability is sometimes you don't feel supported. Like like I get that a lot. Like sometimes I don't get supported in a lot of areas I'm not going to get into, but I'm supposed to have a lady work. Like there's a disability advocate here in the place I live in, and she's not doing the best job. And I'm not going to go into any more detail than that unless I want to get sued, but yeah. And then like not being supported, feeling more vulnerable, feeling more vulnerable in the sense where I feel like it's so much easier for people to take advantage of me because I'm in a wheelchair. And it's like, I want to say this. It's like, just because I am in a wheelchair doesn't make me dumber, stupider. I'm not a doormat. I am like any other individual. Can I walk? No. Am I smart? Yeah. I'm actually smarter than most people in law. Like students who are planning on going to law, I'm not trying to be like braggy about it, but I'm just trying to emphasize that I'm a smart individual and that I can hold my own when I can. I feel like another thing is, for me, I have to have caregivers and make sure that I get my stuff done because I can't like mop. I can't really cook. I can't really do my shower very well. I can't really curl my hair, and I had my caregiver curl my hair because I had an interview today. So, yeah. Anyways, to make sure all those needs are getting done, and I have this one caregiver that likes to kind of, I'm not going to go into any more, but I feel like she likes to take advantage of me, and I don't like it. I've had multiple caregivers in the past who have tried to take advantage of me over the years, but this one specifically likes to sleep all the time on the job, which I don't think is really respectful. I shouldn't even be saying that, but I'm not gonna like play the video when she's here, if you get what I'm saying. So I might just skip over this part. Lord only knows. Yeah. But yeah, I don't like being taken advantage of. I'm really smart. I can hold my own. I can budget my money. I can take my own medications as I have anxiety and depression. I can do my own medications. I can organize when I want to. I'm organized in the sense that the mess is contained, but like but like once it comes down to it, I can get organized and down to the game. I got to get my head in the game in school. I can exceed very well in class, a lot smarter in the legal field as a undergrad student than most people are. I feel like I am more motivated than most people are nowadays, and that's a whole other topic we're going to get into. So those were my highs and lows. My goals. Okay, so my goals for this research are to obviously spread more awareness about this issue. Another thing would be to make a change. That's like the one goal I want to make, is to make a change and create laws if I have to make a change, because these people need help. Like you have to realize elderly people, older disabled people, animals, children are not the only ones who are vulnerable. People who are physically disabled at a younger age, who don't feel like they can get resources, are just as vulnerable like me. So I'm going to try to see if I can do that. Well, I'm not going to try. I'm going to make myself do it. I don't care how long this research takes. If it takes till the day I die, it takes till the day I die. If it takes a week, which no, it's been like over a month since I've been doing this. If it takes like 6 months, it takes 6 months. I'm not going to stop until I've fought every battle to the best of my abilities, and if I have to, If I have to make phone calls, I have to make phone calls. Like, this is how deep it's going in, because I'm going to be, I'm going to be like doing my research and calling other states and stuff like that. How am I going to make this work? Plan. All I'm going to say is planning, time scheduling. If I have free time, which is never, then I need to do that. What do I think my roadblocks are going to be? I think my roadblocks for this would be to feel like you're not being supported. I think that would be a biggest roadblock, and if I'm going to post a bunch of surveys on Twitter, then I might as well have to face a roadblock that people might say that I'm doing this for attention or clout, which I'm generally not trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that I can spread awareness on the situation, because I feel like it's just as important. What would be a rainbow road? Rainbow road or a happy path? A rainbow road for me in doing this experience would be to know that I've fought my fight and that I've changed as many lives as I could, and that I've made a difference in the world, because I was put on this earth for a purpose. If you guys are religious or not, either way, you were put on this earth for a reason. But for me, I was put on this purpose. If you believe in God, I was put on this earth by the Lord to help people out. Hence, my name is Hope. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. My advice would be, my advice to like younger people who are like maybe 15 or even 18 or any younger than that, really, is to don't stop fighting until you get what you want, but be respectful and be humble about it. I'm not telling you to like, oh, I want this done instantly, da 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 da. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you want to make a change in the world, you have to do it with grace and poise. If you want to make a positive change in the world, networking is essentially like one of the most important things about this, because if you network to other people, Lord only knows, you could get a bunch of other opportunities. If you like with this, I'm hoping to like get an opportunity to like speak at venues about having a physical disability, or speaking at school assemblies for people with disabilities. There is just so many opportunities that I hope to get, but I'm not expecting to get them right away. It's gonna be a hell ride and back, I could say that, but I know that the Lord is always watching over me. And my advice to the younger people is believe in yourself, don't give up on yourself, smile, fake it till you make it. I know they say don't fake it till you make it, show all your feelings, but like fake it until you make it. Like put a smile on your face, even though if it wasn't a good day, put a smile on your face and be like, well, at least I lived on this earth. And if it's a really good day, be as happy as you can and spread joy, whether that's family or friends, or just spread joy with yourself. Like give yourself, if you're living on your own and you're doing this on your own, get yourself an ice cream cone or something like that, or get yourself a new t-shirt that you really wanted that's a little expensive. Like not everything, like not all research takes money. I'm not doing this for the money or for the clout. I'm doing this to spread awareness on issues that are being unresolved, that have been going on for decades and decades. In 1990, I think, somewhere in the 1990s, the ADA, or the American with Disabilities Act, was put into place to help people with disabilities get more opportunities. And sometimes I feel like it's violated, in my opinion. So honestly, that's all I have to say on it. I will be doing a little bit more of an update, but I did want to give an idea of what I'm doing. And this is all just drafts. I will be keeping this in a notebook. I will be using the John Hopkins Medical Handbook. They have one here at the place I live at. They have like a little library, so it's really cool. So basically, I'm going to ask what kind of disability. Well, these are going to be the questions that I'm going to answer, and I'm not just going to answer like one question. I'm going to answer multiple questions throughout my years and months, times, days, and research. I'm going to put, what is a disability? What kinds of disabilities are there? Are they curable? How do people deal with disabilities? How can we help make a difference? What type of demographics are we looking at? Like I said, the younger, intellectually there disabled individuals. I will be answering all these questions in a qualitative, quantitative, mathematical, and scientific research with an emphasis on social justice and disability rights. This will have multiple parts as I am a WIU student, so I'm pretty reputable, right? I am writing this as a draft. I think this was from a week ago. Let's answer the basic questions from up above. What is a disability? So I put down the definition of a disability. A disability is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities of daily living. What are the main categories of disabilities? And this is my last part. There's behavioral or emotional, sensory impairment disorders, physical disabilities, or developmental disabilities. And I wanted to do this as a draft because I feel like it's important to like write down your ideas before you actually publish it. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this video, and I hope to see you guys on... This video will be uploaded on Monday and scheduled for Monday, so I will be seeing you guys on Tuesday. Love you. Bye.